Behind every locked door lies a story the world was never meant to hear. Welcome to Behind Bars TV, where we uncover the hidden realities of the world's toughest prisons, untold inmate experiences, and the systems built to contain them. From supermax facilities to forgotten penitentiaries, we revealed the truth behind concrete walls and razor wire. This is not fiction. This is the world behind bars. This doesn't look like prison. This place has no razor wire, no overcrowded cells, no steel bars slamming shut, no guards shouting orders. In fact, if you didn't know where you were, you might mistake this place for a university campus or a retreat center hidden deep in the forest. But this is a prison, and not just any prison. It is often called the most comfortable prison in the world. Murderers live here. Arsonists, violent offenders, men who, in many countries, would spend decades locked in concrete boxes. Here, they cook their own meals. They attend school. They walk freely between buildings. This is Halden Prison. And tonight, we're going inside. Not to admire it, not to defend it, but to ask a question that makes people angry all over the world. Can a prison be too humane? Stay with us, because what you're about to see will challenge everything you think prison is supposed to be. Why this prison shocked the world. When images of Halden Prison first appeared online, many people didn't believe them. This can't be real. Looks like a hotel. Why are criminals living better than law-abiding citizens? Outrage followed quickly. Because in most of the world, prison is designed to hurt. Loss of freedom, loss of comfort, loss of dignity. But Norway made a radical choice. They asked a different question. What prison is supposed to do? Most prison systems operate on one principle. Punishment prevents crime. Norway disagreed. Instead, they asked, what if prison's job is to prevent future victims? That single shift changed everything. The country behind the comfort. To understand this prison, you have to understand Norway. Low corruption, high trust in government, strong social safety nets. Crime exists here, but at far lower rates than most countries. And Norway believes something controversial. People are not born criminals. They are shaped. Prison, in this view, is not revenge. It is repair. Inside a comfortable cell. This is a standard cell at Halden Prison. One inmate. One private room. Inside you'll find a real mattress, a desk and chair, a wardrobe, a television, a bathroom with a shower. There are no bars on the windows. Light comes in freely. This is intentional. Why cells don't look like cages? Norwegian officials believe cages create animals. Human spaces create humans. The idea is simple, but controversial. If you treat someone like a human, they are more likely to behave like one. They cook their own food. At Halden, inmates don't line up for trays. They cook. They shop from a prison grocery system. They plan meals. They eat together. Food isn't used as control here. It's used as responsibility training. Why this makes people angry? For many viewers, this is the breaking point. How can a murderer cook steak? Where is the punishment? Norway's answer is blunt. The punishment is the loss of freedom. Nothing more. School, music, and job training. Halden offers education at every level. High school courses, vocational training, music production, woodworking. Inmates earn certifications that work outside prison, because most of them will return to society. The stat that changes everything. Norway's reoffending rate is around 20%. In many countries, it's 60 to 70%. That statistic is the foundation of this entire system. The psychology of humane incarceration. Isolation breeds anger. Humiliation breeds violence. Norway studied decades of psychology and came to a disturbing conclusion. Cruel prisons create better criminals. Comfort, structure, and dignity, used correctly, reduce aggression. The guards don't carry guns. Prison officers here don't carry guns. They eat with inmates. They talk with them. They mentor. Officers train for 2 years, longer than many police academies. Their job isn't dominance. It's relationship management. Why authority looks different here. Control doesn't come from fear. It comes from legitimacy. Inmates obey because the system feels fair. That's rare. The island prison that feels like freedom. Halden isn't even the most shocking prison in Norway. That title belongs to Bastøy Prison, an island prison. No walls, no armed guards, no locked cells at night. Inmates farm. They work. They live in cottages. And yes, they can see the sea. Isn't this too easy? This is where the debate explodes. Critics argue. Victims are forgotten. Justice feels diluted. Pain is missing. Supporters respond. Fewer future victims. Lower crime. Safer society. This is not a prison debate. It's a moral one. What happens when they get out? Most inmates here leave prison with education, work skills, housing support. They don't exit angry and broken. They exit prepared. When comfort meets violence, comfort is easy to defend until you ask who lives inside it. At Halden, some inmates are here for crimes that make headlines anywhere in the world. Violent assaults, arson, homicide. This is the moment critics lean forward. How, they ask, can someone who destroyed lives live like this? Norway doesn't dodge the question. They answer it directly. The hard truth Norway accepts. Narrator. Norwegian officials acknowledge something many systems avoid. Punishment doesn't erase harm. No amount of suffering restores a life. No harsher cell heals a victim. So the system aims at one outcome only. Fewer victims tomorrow. What victims' families really think. This is where the debate gets personal. Victims' families are not a single voice. Some are outraged by humane prisons. They see comfort as betrayal. Others, quietly, privately, support it. Because they've seen what cycles of anger produce. The voices rarely shown. Some families say this. If treating them humanely stops another family from going through this, then I don't want revenge. I want prevention. These voices don't go viral. Anger does. The science behind the system. Norway didn't guess its way here. Criminologists, psychologists, and sociologists studied decades of data. They learned that shame increases aggression. Isolation damages impulse control. Dignity reduces hostility. The conclusion was uncomfortable. Harsh prisons feel right, but work poorly. Why fear fails long-term? Fear suppresses behavior temporarily. But once released, fear evaporates. Skills remain. Habits remain. That's what Norway invests in. Open prisons and trust as control. Not all Norwegian prisons look like Halden. Some are even more open. In these facilities, inmates leave cells unlocked, work outside the prison, return voluntarily at night. Escape is possible. Rare, but possible. Why most don't run? Because running destroys trust. And trust is currency here. Lose it, and you're transferred to a closed prison immediately. Freedom is conditional. That condition teaches responsibility. The day comfort breaks. No system is perfect. Violence does occur, even here. When it does, the response is precise. No mass lockdowns. No collective punishment. Individuals are isolated, treated, reassessed. The system bends, but doesn't abandon its philosophy. Why other countries won't copy this? If it works so well, why hasn't the world adopted it? 3 reasons. Cost. Politics. Public emotion. Humane prisons require investment. But more than money, they require patience. Politicians and the fear of soft on crime. Tough on crime wins elections. Smart on crime takes time. Norway chose time. Many countries won't. The media's role in the outrage. Media simplifies what it doesn't want to explain. A clean cell becomes luxury. A guitar becomes reward. Context disappears. Outrage fills the gap. Why comfort is the wrong word. These prisons are not indulgent. They are normal. That's the point. Normal prepares people for normal life. What happens when this system fails? Not everyone succeeds here. Some reoffend. Some reject rehabilitation. When that happens, Norway adjusts. They don't abandon humanity. They increase supervision. The system accepts imperfection. The cost question. Yes, these prisons cost more per inmate. But Norway measures cost differently. Fewer repeat crimes mean fewer victims, fewer trials, fewer future prisons. Long-term savings outweigh short-term expense. What justice really means here. In Norway, justice isn't about suffering. It's about safety. Not how much pain someone endures, but how much harm is prevented. Could this work anywhere else? Could this work in larger, more divided societies? Some elements could. Others require trust levels that take generations to build. This system isn't plug and play. It's cultural. The inmate's final test. Release is not the end. It's the test. Society watches closely. And Norway holds itself accountable for the outcome. Why this prison terrifies some people. This prison scares people because it challenges a belief. That pain equals justice. If pain isn't necessary, what does that say about systems built on it? The future of prisons. Around the world, small changes are beginning. More education. Less isolation. More dignity. Not comfort. Humanity. The question that remains. This may be the most comfortable prison in the world. But comfort was never the goal. The goal was this. When someone leaves prison, they don't return. Whether the world is ready for that idea is the real question. When comfort is actually control. From the outside, this looks like freedom. From the inside, it's something else entirely. Comfort in these prisons is not accidental. It is not generosity. And it is definitely not weakness. It is structured control. Every freedom here is conditional. Every privilege is earned. Every routine is designed. This is not chaos. It's discipline without cruelty. The difference between chaos and calm. Traditional prisons rely on force to maintain order. Locks, threats, isolation. Norway relies on predictability. Inmates know what happens if they follow the rules. They also know exactly what happens if they don't. There is no mystery, no arbitrary punishment, and that clarity creates compliance more reliably than fear ever could. What American inmates say when they see this. When inmates from harsher systems see footage of these prisons, the reaction is almost always the same. Disbelief. Some laugh. Some get angry. Some go quiet. Because to someone who has lived years in isolation, this doesn't look humane. It looks impossible. This would never work here. That phrase comes up again and again. Not because people doubt the outcomes, but because they doubt the trust. Many prison systems are built on the assumption that inmates will exploit any softness. Norway made the opposite assumption, that people will rise or fall to the environment they're placed in. The uncomfortable truth about harsh prisons. Here is the truth most systems avoid. Harsh prisons feel emotionally satisfying to the public. They look like justice. But over decades, they produce something dangerous. People who are angrier, more disconnected, more violent. Norway looked at the evidence and accepted a painful fact. Feeling right is not the same as working. Why pain doesn't translate to safety. Pain teaches resentment. Resentment seeks release. And release eventually finds victims. Norway chose prevention over symbolism. That choice still angers people. What the world gets wrong about soft prisons. Critics often say, this rewards bad behavior. But that assumes prison is the reward. It isn't. The reward is not coming back. These prisons are not soft. They are strict about the only thing that matters. Behavior after release. Why humane doesn't mean forgiving. Nothing here excuses the crime. Nothing here erases the harm. What it does is separate justice from vengeance. And that distinction makes many people uncomfortable. The final question no one can escape. This may be the most comfortable prison in the world. But comfort is the wrong word. What this place offers is normalcy. And normalcy is powerful. Because one day, Every inmate here will walk back into society. The only question that truly matters is this: do we want them angry or prepared? That answer defines not just a prison system, but a society. What you just saw is more than a story. It's a reality lived by thousands behind bars. If you believe in uncovering the truth, the kind hidden behind concrete walls and silence, then join us. Subscribe to Behind Bars TV and never miss a chapter in the world's most dangerous stories. Until next time, stay aware, stay informed, subscribe, and stay locked in. Until next time, keep your mind open and your curiosity sharp. Remember, freedom and confinement are sometimes only a wall apart.